Hey, I just want to talk about angels. Do y'all believe in angels? I believe in angels. There's been angels since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve. And, when we lose a loved one, I believe they turn into our guardian angels. I know they're there watching over us. I know when my dad died, he was the first person in my family, that had passed away that was close to me, my own dad. And I had a hard time when he died. His last night, he lived about 45 minutes away from me, him and my mom. And his last night, unknowingly, he came over my house. He wanted to come over and spend the night. And when they come over, we play card games, and we sit at the table, we eat, and we talk. And that night, we were playing Rummy, his favorite card game, and I made him a steak dinner. And, we had a good time that night. And it was like, he was in a wheelchair. He could barely walk. He could barely get, he had to have help when he went to the restroom. But that night, he must have known. Well, I'm sure he didn't know, but he came and stayed at my house. He was walking, getting up out of his wheelchair. It was, I should have known. It was just so different. He was so different that day. But we had a good time. I cooked for him. Woke up, I made him breakfast. And I had to leave. Me and Tom had to leave to go pick up some flooring. It was actually towards his house. I had to pick up flooring at Home Depot, and it was 40 minutes away. But I got to spend my last moment with him. That morning, we had left to pick up flooring, but he went straight home. And as soon as he got home, he passed away. And I'm so thankful to have been able to spend his last night with him and Mom. It was a very hard day. But when he passed away, I always felt like I'd be standing in my kitchen, and when I would feel like somebody blowing in my ear and my hair, and like brushing my shoulders, and I'd look. I mean, it was real. And I remember my mom come up to visit after he died, and I'd never seen it before, but there was a baby buck. Me and Mom was leaving, and there was a baby buck at the end of our driveway, and it just kept staring at us, and it just kept following us like it was leading us. And I mean, it could have jumped in the fields and left, but it literally followed us all the way down the road. And I have read that spirits can take form in animals, but then it was like he was just letting us know he's still here. And I remember having one day I went and visited my mom, and I come home. It was nighttime. Drove 45 minutes home, and I was struggling. I was yelling, Dad, where are you? Are you okay? And when I got home, I walked out of my vehicle, and there were about 8 to 10 white feathers white feathers literally in a row. And there's nothing that could have done that. I mean, it was right at my door. And when I opened it, it was like white feathers. And to me, white feathers are a sign from our angel family who have passed. And I would find white feathers in my kitchen drawers, like my towel drawer. And I'm like, what? How does a feather get in that drawer? They say feathers are signs from your loved ones. I remember crying and screaming and saying, Dad, I can't hug you anymore. I want to hug you, Dad. I miss you, Dad. I just want to hold you. And that night, I believe my dad came and visited me in a dream. Because in my dream, it was like we were in a hospital or something. And he was at the corner of a turn. And that same day, I was really upset. Dad, I want to hug you. I want to hug you again. But in my dream, I ran to him. And I hugged him so tight. And I said, Dad, I just want to hold you. I said, I just want to hold you. I don't want to let go, Dad. And I remember in my dream, I squeezed him as tight as I could. And that really calmed my heart, because it's like I got to give him a hug again. And it felt so real. And it was so sweet. I just did not want to let go. But I believe our loved ones become our angels. There was another time when my daughter, she's 10 years old, but when she was just 3 months old, and no, she could not say a word back then, she was laying beside me in bed, and I was crying that night, thinking, I never got to meet any of my grandparents, never, not on my mother's side, or none of my grandparents, my mom or dad's side. And I just remember crying because I know she died a painful death. I know she would get beat and stuff like that, and it just hurt knowing I never got to meet her. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I looked over, and I seen my little baby girl reaching over the edge of the bed, and it was just me and her in the bed, and she was reaching over the end of the bed, and I just looked at her and just stared like, what's she doing? She was like, she's grabbing something at the end of the bed, but she was just reaching her hand out, and she literally said, Grandma. She said Grandma plain as day. She's only 3 months old. She couldn't even talk, but she was reaching over the edge of the bed like my mother's mom was standing there. And so I believe in my heart, she was letting me know that she's there. She's been with us all these years, my whole life. Maybe my guardian angel, because I've gone through some things that only an angel could have got me through it. With the Lord Jesus protecting me. I just want y'all to know, for those of you that are missing loved ones and having a hard time, they are here. They are here. They are watching over you. They hear you. Just calm your heart and just know that they're watching over you.